That's right. Welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for some ringside rumors. We've got 3 more top rumors for you, ladies and gentlemen, so without further ado, we're going to jump straight into them. Several backstage segments featuring the women's roster were cut from Monday's Raw, according to PW Insider Elite. They were pulled in late in the day, and at least one had already been filmed. The changes made some in the women's locker room, quote, very unhappy. Perhaps related, a Fightful Select report on Monday's show noted that there was, quote, a damage control backstage segment that didn't run. Before we go any further, I have no idea. I don't know why I have such a difficulty saying backstage segment. I think it's just because my tongue has to like move up and down and left and right. I don't know. So if you're wondering why I have such a trouble doing that, I don't know either, man. I think I'm dying. Someone help me. So there's a lot of people who are running around, man, just screaming. Okay, because they think that Vince McMahon is somewhere. They think he's in the walls, man. They think he's in the walls. They think he's under the floorboards. They think Vince McMahon is flying around like a drone, secretly like looking in on everybody's conversations and wanting to like cut stuff out. Bro, they are just so paranoid. And I don't blame them, okay? Because you hear stuff like this and that's like the first thing that you think of. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, do you know how much of an awful boss that you have to be to where the sheer mention of your name causes hysteria, mass hysteria? Like, wrestlers are running around, flipping stuff over, looking inside their boots, making sure that he's nowhere to be found, and he isn't. He wasn't even at Raw. So these cut segments, I mean, like, okay, so I know that he said that he was going to be involved and, you know, there's a potential chance that he could be working remotely and all that sort of stuff. So there's a chance that Vince McMahon's fingerprints could be somewhere on this. Like, just because he wasn't at the show doesn't necessarily mean that he wasn't, like, you know, involved in any of the storylines or anything like that. So this is very interesting to hear about simply because it just, it has Vince McMahon all over it. His fingertips. But then you swab and then you find out it wasn't him. Vince McMahon's been dead for 50 years, you know? It's just like, what is going on? I want it to be like the ending of Silent Hill. I want it to be like, oh, it was Triple H controlling it all along. You know what I mean? Like, at least that way we have some closure. You know, something to just sort of like latch onto and be like, oh, okay, so it was not Vince, right? No. So Vince was nowhere near this situation at all. Absolutely not. Okay. All right. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, we don't have that to worry about. Our next top rumor, Goldberg was in Los Angeles during WrestleMania week. And Insider Elite says while there, he, quote, met with at least one international promoter about his retirement tour idea. I like that Goldberg is taking the initiative, right? And, you know, he's running around and being like, who will take me to the ball? You know, I want to go to the ball and I want to dance. Who's going to take me to the ball in this beautiful dress that I made, you know? So, listen, man, more power to him, you know. I don't know. Part of me is like, you don't need to be doing this. Nobody really, like, cares. You know, and it's not like anything against you. It's just like nobody, like, you know, there's like so much more happening. You know what I mean? Like, Goldberg wants to retire. Cool. I want to, I don't know, go to London. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of stuff people want to do. I don't know. That sounds rude. And I don't know. It's like, bro, you're done. It's fine, man. I don't think you need a retirement match. Just because he promised you one and then he, you know, did some things and now you don't get it, that doesn't mean you have to go out looking for it. You don't have to. Just go home. Go to your big 6-story, man. I know you have one, right? Go to your, like, 4 different weight rooms in your own house. And just watch David Muir on what's it, ABC? I don't know, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. How dare I call myself a David Muir fan? Is the tour you going around to people and being like, hey, I want a retirement match, and you're just waiting to see who's going to take you to the Sadie Hawkins dance? Or is the tour you wrestling and then the tour is, and then when the tour's over, that is your retirement match? If it's the latter, then it's like, all right, sure, fine. Either way, man, whatever, okay? Do whatever you want. Our final top rumor, inquiring with their sources about the LWO's booking, PW Insider was told the group are being used to build Judgment Day up before they face Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny at Backlash. That report also says that even though the LWO's Zelina Vega, quote, has been backstage at recent TVs and not even used to appear as part of the group, WWE is still planning to have Vega challenge SmackDown Women's Champ Rhea Ripley in Puerto Rico. You heard that right. I can't stay backstage. I can't do it. If you catch me off guard with the word, I just fall apart. That's my kryptonite, man. I can't read. Somebody help. Listen, they are getting booked well, though, and I do appreciate that. I'm a bit, okay, now that I'm just thinking about it, I'm a bit worried that they are literally only being booked solely because they are going to Puerto Rico, and that's literally it. And as soon as this whole thing is over, that's them done, right? You're never going to see or hear from them ever again, you know? I do like that Zelina Vega is being booked against Rhea Ripley. I do like that. I thought it was going to be like all of them against all of them. That's what I was understanding, but it doesn't really seem like that's the case. It seems like there's going to be a controlled environment with LWO and Judgment Day, and then I guess Zelina Vega and Rhea Ripley are going to be doing something with that. So far, they haven't really been pushing towards Zelina Vega going against Rhea Ripley. I mean, you know, I guess if you'd like sit down and stare at it long enough, then, you know, you'll come to that conclusion. But like, other than that, you know, I don't really think that that's like the first thing that people are going to be thinking about. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not really complaining about this. I'm happy to know about this. I like that they became the LWO. I mean, if you're gonna, you know, book them as anything, booking them as like a classic faction that Eddie Guerrero started up, like that's like a huge honor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really think that they're complaining all that much. I just felt some type of way about their name getting just scratched off. So yeah, it seems like that's what they're pretty much going for at Puerto Rico. Again, I can't really complain. My only hope is that they are not called LWO from now until the end of time, and also they like do this and then you just never hear from them again. That's literally my only worry. But other than that, I'm looking forward to it. Now we're getting into the minor rumors, and our first one is tangentially related at best. But Mercedes Moné posted on her Instagram story earlier this week that she's, quote, definitely moving to Japan, and indicated she was going to start Japanese language school. That's good, because I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega knows Japanese. I don't know if Will Ospreay knows Japanese. It'd be very funny if the guy who spent way longer of a time... No, I don't know. I can't really say that. That's not very fair. He's in Japan. He's in the G1. He's you know, he's been in the G1s and he's been at the Wrestle Kingdoms and all that. You figure, you know, with the amount of time you've been spending in Japan, you know at least some Japanese. You know, I would like to think that Will Ospreay has no idea what anybody is saying most of the time. But it does make a whole lot of sense. And also, bilingual. Come on now. Put that on your resume. I'm not going to complain about that. She's definitely making her mark. That's like the main thing to take away from this is that, one, it tells you that she is more than likely, you know, going to be like stamping her feet in Japan. And two, you know, it also tells you that she is going to be wanting to cut like Japanese promos for the audience, because a lot of the times when Asuka speaks or Io Sky speaks, everyone's just like, yeah, you know. So I like that she's going to be being a little bit more inclusive, you know, to the local audience. So I appreciate that. Our next minor rumor, Hangman Page and AEW are, quote, in the process of working towards a potential new contract. Negotiations started fairly recently, and it was pointed out that Page has the same representation as Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. So he's good, Dad. I mean, you literally have nothing to worry about. If you've got, you know, the same representation as Kenny and the Bucks, I mean, I really don't think that you have anything, you know, to be biting your fingernails over, right? So, I mean, not much else to say. Ideally, you know, he's going to be having a multi-year contract, and that potentially means that we could see the Elite and Hangman Page back together again and potentially taking on the BCC. Who's really to know? I mean, that seems like it's more than likely, like, if it's not leaning towards anything else, it's leaning towards that. So we're just going to have to wait and see how it turns out. Our final rumor, Kota Ibushi gave the following statement to Dark Perosu Flosion about his future. Recently, Kenny and I have been talking about things other than games. For example, are your knees okay? Is your shoulder okay? Also, I hope to be in contact with Tony Khan soon. The Golden Lovers are going to reunite at some point. I don't know when and I don't know how, but they just keep tantalizing us with the Golden Lovers unification, right? Reunion. There you go. A reunion. And every time it seems like it's going to happen, it just never does. And I think at one point it is going to happen, and I can't wait to see... Was Kota Ibushi ever in AEW? If he was, let me know. But I don't think I remember Kota Ibushi in AEW. And if he was in AEW, this was when Kenny Omega was like injured, so I don't think they met. 2 shifts passing in the night. So, even though one of them wasn't there, I don't know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I like that. They're just good friends, ain't they? Is your shoulder okay? Is your knee okay? Are you alright? Have you eaten? You know what I'm saying? How's the folks? You know, I love that. Just friends. Wholesome. What a wonderful thing to end it off on. Also, he hopes to be in contact with Tony Khan soon. So, you know, well, the first thing, I mean, if you've been around the block before with the whole Japanese and UK system, you know that everybody's got to get their visa situations worked out. And as soon as that happens, then, you know, everything should be fine and we shouldn't have anything to worry about. But so far, he's in contact with Tony. Well, he hopes to be in contact with Tony Khan soon. I can't say that he's been in contact with Tony Khan. So at the end of the day, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It sounds like a Golden Lovers reunion is going to potentially be happening at some point in the near future, but other than that, only time will tell. What do we talk about? A lot of backstage segments. There's words out there that I know you can't say. I know there's words out there that you just have such a difficulty saying, and don't bully me, please. Please. I bruise like a banana. God, there's a lot of segments that got cut. A lot of the women in the locker room are not very happy about that, and a damage control segment also got taken down. If I'm one of the women in the locker room, yeah, man, I don't know why you wouldn't be upset. I would be absolutely beside myself with anger, okay? All that going out there and doing the segment and all that sort of stuff, I'd be pissed. But, okay, the main focus of this situation is the fact that people think that it's Vince McMahon, and I don't necessarily know if that is the case, unless the report explicitly comes out and says otherwise. But the rumors that came out yesterday specifically said that Vince was not on Raw, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't involved. So unless it comes out that he exclusively was not, I guess everybody has a right to potentially assume it was him. I don't necessarily know. Mercedes Moné is learning Japanese. She's also definitely moving to Japan, so that definitely makes a lot of sense on why she's learning Japanese. More power to her. Be bilingual, girl. Okay, women in STEM. Let's go. All right. Goldberg is retiring. He's doing his retirement tour idea. Sorry, an idea. It's, yeah, I swear I was just about to say another word, and it was there and then it left. So, yeah, he met with international promoter. Listen, man, I don't really have much to say. More power to you. Do your thing. If you end up going on the tour, that'll be fantastic, and hopefully you get what you want. Let's see. LWO's booking. They're being used to build Judgment Day before they face Mysterio, and Zelina Vega is taking on Rhea Ripley. Listen, I don't want them to be in the match, and then the match is over, and then we just don't see them again. I really, really, really don't want that to happen, man. I'm going to be very upset. Man, I'm going to be so upset if that ends up happening, man, because the Legado del Fantasma, man, this is going to be hard. They are an incredibly diverse tag team, and they're just incredible in the ring, and they're really good on the mic, and they have just a bunch of charisma, and they are just it doesn't make any sense why you would just use them for this and take them off TV. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. Let's see. Hangman Page is in the process of working towards a potential contract, and he has the same representation as Omega in the Bucks. Great. I'm not really going to complain. I doubt Hangman's going to complain. You know, here's hoping to a multi-year contract. And Kota Ibushi spoke to Kenny Omega. He wants to know if his knees and shoulders are okay, and he wants to be in contact with Tony Khan. Golden Lover reunion? We'll have to wait and see. I don't necessarily know. And, you know, as the birds scream their heads off next to me, you're probably not going to be able to hear. Maybe you'll hear them. I don't necessarily know. But, yeah, man, we'll have to see if Tony Khan is going to be saying something with Kota Ibushi. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm so sorry that I'm so sorry that I cannot say backstage segment. Please help me, please, somebody send help to me, please. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow, and as always, big hugs all around.